are you guys doing, everyone? Glad to be here on tonight. I'm super excited. Sacred Healing is back in effect, coming in on Wednesdays. So I'm so thankful to be here. Um, just waiting for some people to pop on. I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening as I am. Thankful for this wonderful day. It's been a busy day. Um, it's been a prosperous day. It's been a flourishing day. But just, happy to be here. And so I just wanted to come on. Tonight is the first night. The Secret Healing is on tonight. But I just kind of wanted to give you an introduction of what we're going to be doing on here. Let me turn off my music. I was just listening to a little bit of jazz to get my night started. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. How you guys doing? Everybody on IG, Facebook, YouTube. Glad to have you on here. But yeah, Sacred Healing's on tonight. Coming to introduce what I'll be doing on here. I'll be giving out wonderful information. I'll just wanted to go in tonight, letting you know about like how did Sacred Healing come about? What was the journey of me evolving in this era? And Sacred Healing was literally birthed out of my life. I actually, Sacred Healing, I had it written down on a scratcher piece of paper, as I like to journal. As y'all know, we all always have a journal on point. But get to writing, and I was going through. How you doing, Shannon? Nice to see you, sweetheart. Thank you for joining me, baby. I was just on here telling you, everyone, that how Sacred Healing came about and how my introducing what this podcast is going to be about. But I was kind of going into like how Sacred Healing came about and how it was the journey of my life and how I came up with the name Sacred Healing. I had written it down on a piece of paper. I keep a briefcase of just journaling notes, writings, or whatever, and I was just going through them. And at that particular time, um, I was writing a book, and I was looking, trying to piece the book that I had sitting in my briefcase for 15 years. And the Sacred Healing came up, and I said, yep, that's it. That's the name that it's going to be. Now, mind you, I was contemplating about even doing any of this, with the journey of Sacred Healing, but God had other plans for me. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be a blessing to anyone that who is in my presence. But the journey wasn't easy, as we all have a journey in life. And I was at this particular time, I was in a searching within and wanting healing for myself, mind, body, and soul. I was going through a lot of things mentally and physically and spiritually. And I knew that something was going to be great. I just didn't know how great. Because when there's a time where you're sitting in a dormant state and you're going through, sometimes you can often wonder, like, why am I going through all this? Like, why is my body being afflicted? Why is my mind being afflicted? Why do I feel so spiritually dead? And I was going through this phase, and I was like, man, I'm tired of like keeps like repeating the same cycle over and over and over again. And I'll never forget this day. It was one morning I woke up and I stood in the mirror and I looked at myself and I said, Regina, this will be the last day that you will sit on your potential. What is going on with you? What's wrong with you? Why are you in this stagnant mode in your life? I'll never forget that day, and tears were coming down my eyes, and I was just speaking to myself. And on that day, I made a choice. And on August 15th, 3 years ago, August 15th is actually my mother's birthday, but August 15th, I was getting ready to meet her, and we were going to go out to breakfast, and she had this elderly lady at her house visiting from Honduras. And she says, Regina, I need you to come over here and help her. And I'm thinking, well, dang, Mom, we're supposed to be going out for your breakfast for your birthday. Okay, well, like what's really going on? And she was worried because, she had a lot of infection in her leg. And my mom was like, she's been to the doctors and, she's seen a doctor in Boston. Good evening, sis. Seen a doctor in Boston, and now she's here in Georgia. And the lady, mind you, now she didn't speak any English either. So, and the lady is telling her that she's worried, like she doesn't feel like her leg is getting healed, and she don't know what to do because it's just the medicine that they're giving her is not helping. I said, okay, let me go and I'll check her out. So I get over there, and I'm now mind you, it's me, my mom, and my son, and this elderly lady. And she says, Regina, just look at it. And I remember looking at her leg, and I said, wow, it doesn't look so healthy. I had a lot of infection in her leg and stuff. And I, began to ask, my mom was translating, asking her what the steps were of her treatment. And she said, okay. So mind you, I'm showing up at the house, not really, I don't have any of stuff because I'm not at my house. So I started asking my mom, hey, mom, do you have this particular product in your house? So now I'm thinking of an antiseptic spray because that's what she had, but they gave her. And then now I'm thinking of an ointment that I could put on there naturally. Because I am a holistic practitioner, I can go into your cabinets and pull out things that are medicinal. And that's what I did in that moment. I asked my mom, I said, Mom, I said, give me the apple cider vinegar that you have. Give me some water. We're going to go ahead and make an antiseptic spray for her leg. I said, Mom, go in there and what oils do you have? Do you have vitamin? Do you have what oils? Do you have olive oil, coconut oil, grapeseed oil? What oils do you have in there? So my mom brought all these oils out, and I said, Mom, do you have any garlic? She said, yes, I do. I said, okay. And I said, what essential oils do you have? Because, I always made sure that, my mom had some kind of essential oils at her house because that's what I use as well. And during this program of the podcast, not tonight, but throughout, I will be giving you different regimens that you can use, essential oils, from oils to spices to herbs, whatever it is for you to flourish and be healthy. I'm here, and this is what it's for. I'm just kind of giving you a breakdown of how sacred healing came about and when I knew that it was time for me to step out. And so at this mist, I'll never forget that evening. And I gave her the regimen, and I said, you need to follow it. And I began to, and my son tells me, he says, Mom, I think you need to pray for this woman. And I said, and I looked at him, I said, okay. And I remember at that moment kneeling down above this woman, and I told my mom, I said, Mom, I said, the Holy Spirit will speak to both of us. You don't need to translate nothing. And I remember at that time praying over this woman, and after we got done, she told my mom, I understood because the Spirit spoke. Mind you, in the whole time that she had been seeing for this wound that she had gotten bit by a dog, and the dog pulled the flesh off of her skin on her ankle. So she had a lot of green pus, and things were just swelling, and her foot was swelling, and she couldn't really walk. Within 3 days of her taking my regimen, and this is no lie because I still got the picture so I could verify and everything, it was a scab, guys. 3 days. In 3 days, she was having a scab where before she had swelling in her feet, she had redness around the infection, she had pus coming out, she had numbness in her feet. And so on that day, I already knew. How you doing, Callie? I already knew that sacred healing must come out. That was confirmation when God spoke to me in that moment, and the Holy Spirit said, okay, it's time, Regina. Quit sitting down. Quit, being obese with your knowledge. How you doing, Chantel? Good evening, baby. Quit being obese with your knowledge and share. And that day forward is when I made the decision to bring sacred healing out into the public. And from then day forward, I've been going strong with sacred healing. I'm really thankful. I'm passionate about helping my people. I'm passionate about educating my people. I'm passionate about being an example of what we can do if we just apply. Holistic is not, let me tell you something. A lot of people I get just, what is holistic? What is this about? It's natural. It is things that God created from the earth, things that you can grow from the ground. I believe in herbs that come from the ground. Anything that is natural to heal the body. Okay. I worked in the medical field for 24 years. So trust me, I have knowledge and information. I loved everything about it. Worked in different areas of in the medical field, so I have a broad of experience and understanding. And so I took that information, and when I entered into a holistic medicine, it helped. It benefited me because I was able to see how westernized medicine worked, and I was able to see how holistic medicine worked. And I studied holistic medicine 10 years before I even brought it forth 3 years ago. I appreciate you, Kelly. I really, really do. I appreciate all you guys on here. But 10 years of studying and practicing before I even brought it forth 3 years ago. And because I'm a firm believer of not just giving you anything. And I had to test it. So everything that I bring forth, I've done it throughout the years in my life because I wanted something natural for myself. I was in a healing process in my life, physically. Just so I can give you, and everybody who's jumped on, I'm giving an introduction of what sacred healing is about and what I'll be bringing forth from here on out on Wednesdays. There'll be different topics, but it would be informative because I want you guys to have this information. I want you guys to be prosperous in everything that you do. I have learned a lot from your teaching. I appreciate it. I've learned a lot from you too. I appreciate you guys because you not only do I teach, you guys teach me because you guys are always encouraging me, sending me information, and I read up on it and everything. But my life, my body, I can give you a testimony. My body was breaking down. Um, I felt at this particular time I don't know, mid 40s, maybe mid 40s, yeah. And my body was breaking down. I was feeling like I was 80 years old. My bones were hurting. I started having pains in my elbows. I started having pain in my wrist, my knees, my hips, my ankles. Um, I'm giving you the symptoms. So if any of you guys are going through this, trust me, there's things to help you with. But I have a high tolerance for pain, so I was able to endure a lot. But what happened was is I started getting a very sharp pain that felt like a needle was going into the back of my head. And I said, "Oh, I can't work like this. I can't work like, it caught me off guard where it felt like just something was stabbing me in the back of my occipital bone." And I would get done with work and my shoulders would start locking up. So I couldn't even take off my clothes. It was like impossible. It was hard to start turning at the end of the day of work. I would be driving and all of a sudden, my arm weren't being able to turn the steering wheel. And I said, I can't, there's no way I can't live like this. I had so much sickness in my body. And I didn't want to, I already knew what they were going to do when I told them when I was going to go. And I didn't want the medicine. I already knew that. But I had let my body go so long with not taking care of it like I was supposed to because I was work and not investing into myself. And I'll never forget on this day I was actually at a funeral of all places, and there was a young lady that was there, and I've known her since she was 11 years old, and at this time she's a grown woman now, and she's a chiropractor. And I remember going to her mom. I said, "I need to see Audrey. I'm not feeling well, and you know me. I don't trust a whole lot of people, and especially when it comes to health and wellness." And I said, "But I need to see her." So I'll never forget that day. I went in, we had a consultation, and I invested a full year. A lot of times people think chiropractor is just for your back and everything else. No, no, it's an alignment. It controls the central nervous system. And when the central nervous system is out of alignment, then a lot of things are out of alignment because the central nervous system controls everything. But I was so out of alignment for 3 months, I had to just get treated before I can even exercise. So in those 3 months, I focused on my nutrition. And that's another thing, guys. We got to be very important about what our nutrition was because of my poor nutrition. I had a lot of inflammation in my body. So I had to detox. So when I say I know about detoxing, I literally know about detoxing. And I had to detox my body. And during that time, I was very intentional about doing it. And so I had been, eating the right things and doing what I need to do. And this is how actually during that time my Green Complete was created. I created Green Complete that went into my smoothie during this time. And so all the while I'm going through, for the first 3 months, she tells me, and I thought, she's just saying, she tells me, after you're done with your treatment, your body is not going to operate like it used to. Matter of fact, it's going to do things that you wouldn't even think that it's capable of doing. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. All I want is I don't want to have no pain. So if that's it, then I'm good. Because of Dr. Audrey, and I'll put her information in there because I'll be showing, I'm also going to be sharing different nuggets and people who I've seen and who've helped me along my way with my holistic journey. But Dr. Audrey, she was right. I am here today as a witness of the things that I'm able to do and perform like I can because of being in under that care. I invested a full year because that's how bad my body was out of alignment, literally. And I've never been the same. I've never been the same since then, and that's been over maybe 6 years since I've had the alignment. And she said, you maybe need to come back for, maintenance, but I haven't had to. So during that time, this is where all this is going through. And I'm telling you, I'm practicing holistic and I'm applying it to my life. This whole time, it's the journey before I'm bringing sacred healing out. My body is going through all these different changes. And I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, how can I be healthy again? And during this time, this is where all this is coming out. I'm seeing a chiropractor. I'm getting my body in alignment. I'm changing my nutrition. And I'm figuring out what works for me. Now I'm saying, okay, now I need to really start exercising, okay? And I'll never forget when I started having to get back into exercising, you guys, let me tell you, from headaches to fatigue, my body was aching. Shortness of breath during the exercise. I felt like, oh my gosh, my body ain't gonna be able to do none of this because at one time I couldn't even run. I had so much pain on my knees to where it hurt to even run. I mean, once I started running, I had to stop because it was so painful. And running was one of my favorite things that I love to do because I ran track. And I said, I know I can do this, but my body was saying something else. I beat it down so bad, you guys. And little by little, I noticed that my body started changing. The inflammation started leaving my body. I didn't start having those aches and pains. My hands used to twist up, you guys. That's how I'm being honest. My hands used to twist up. My toes would curl, or they would spread so far apart that you would think they would break on their own. They would have muscle spasms. I would have in the arch would be so painful you could feel the muscle just pulling. And I thought, this is not normal. This can't be. But I stuck with it. And that's the thing. Your body will want to give up. The body will want to give up. But you have to keep pushing forward. This is what sacred healing is about. This is where I'm here to encourage you, to educate you, and to show you that it is possible if you just apply it. But we have to be disciplined in those areas. I'm not going to tell you that I didn't stop and start throughout my journey of health and wellness, because that would be a lie. But I kept moving, whether I stopped for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it was during those times where I would get all excited. Because you know how we do, we get excited, we want to work out, we want to have, then all of a sudden, we stop, we drop off, we go back to our bad habits. I went through stages of that throughout my life until my body got to the point to where it was really, really bad. Then it came to a point in my life to where, okay, I had that under control, but then there was stress. Stress came about in my life, okay? And each one of us, it just depends on your different stress levels, because certain stress may not affect you physically like others. And there was, going through certain situations, my body was afflicted, literally. inside. You couldn't feel it on the outside. Uh, it was afflicted in my womb. Now, mind you, I've always had a normal pap smear. Okay. This one, I'm going in for my checkup. They say, okay. I'm thinking it's normal as always. I go in there and they're talking about abnormal. What you mean abnormal? I'm thinking, what am I doing different? I'm working out. I'm eating right. What could possibly be happening? They asked me, has anything changed? Are you under stress? I said, yeah, I am under some stress. She said, okay. And then she left it as that. Now, mind you, I started no, that's one thing. Now we're going to go to another one. I started getting cysts in my breast, pocket cysts, which were very painful. They would inflame, and they would have to drain them. And you know that's painful when you get a needle and have to poke it inside of your breast. Come on now. All because of my stress. Now, when she took the fluid out, she turned around, the PA took her around, she says, you must be really stressed. And I said, yeah, I am. I'm kind of dealing with something right now. And I said, how can you tell? She said, I just know your body's reacting to it. And I can tell. And I said, oh my goodness. So I'm going through with that. Now they tell me that you have precancerous cells, and we're going to have to biopsy that. We're going to have to take that portion of your cervix out. Now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, what? What are you telling me? So when you guys hear me say, I'm not my diagnosis, I mean it. When I say I'm not my diagnosis, I'm not my diagnosis. Because I'm laying on that table and tears are coming down my eyes. And then I'm thinking, how do I know? How do I know that what you're telling me is that you're being honest with me? How do I know? And at that moment, you guys, the revelation was, I cannot allow stress in my life like that because it was attacking my body. I'm eating right, I'm exercising, but now I got stress. And it worked against everything that I was going through. So when you guys hear this, say, my peace is the most important thing, my peace. You guys may be, how you doing, Cynthia? You guys may be dealing with some stress in your life. Don't ever underestimate that your body is reacting to it, because mine did. Thank God I'm healed. All praises to the Most High God, because I'm not my diagnosis. Whatever a man think of, so he is. And I chose to live. So when I say I know it works, because my own body has been afflicted. This is what sacred healing is about, to be honest with you guys, to be transparent with you guys, to give you guys my testimony of where I am today because of the afflictions of my body. When I say when you have afflictions, there's also gifts that come with this. The greatest afflictions come the greatest gifts. My body was being afflicted. My mind was being afflicted. My spiritual man was being afflicted. Mind, body, and soul. All of it was out of alignment. I had to get all of this under alignment. In doing so, I had to take the right steps. One, for me, I chose a chiropractic physician to get myself going in my holistic journey. Getting my nutrition right. Getting my spiritual walk right. That's the most important. God was working in me day and night. Day and night, because I was struggling. I was struggling because I was so focused on what I was going through that I did not give the time to God that I needed. So my body was being afflicted. I was trying to give myself to everybody else. And doing that, my cup was running empty and my body was being afflicted. I will not longer have sickness in my body, in my spirit, in my body, or in my mind. So this is what sacred healing is about. I will be on here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, to give you the information that can help lead you into a healthy well-being, whether it is in your body, your physical body. If you guys are feeling any type of pain, if you're feeling any kind of changes in your body, if there's some things that you questions that you need answered, feel free to ask, because a lack of knowledge, our people will perish. And I've been mandated to give this information. I don't there's a reason why I have this information. There's a reason why I have this knowledge. And it's not just for me. It's not just for me to sit on it. It is for me to share with my people, because it is important for me to anyone who I come in contact with, that they will flourish and prosper in their health. That's the most important thing to me, because I know what it is like to be in that position. Okay? Matter of fact, I had a conversation today with one of my clients, and we got to talking. He started asking a few questions about something, and I started here. There I go. This holistic practitioner started breaking down herbs and what you can take and all this other stuff. And he's sitting there like, he says, "How do you know all this stuff?" I said, "I've been studying it for a long time, over 10 something years." And it was like, well, and then asked the question, why? Because I've been in healthcare, and I knew that portion of it, but I wanted to lead my life in a more natural, holistic way. And I began to break down. They were going through some seasonal flu and symptom stuff that, and I always keep oil of oregano on me. You guys might see me posting this stuff, and I pull out the bottle, and he kind of looked. He was like, "Oh, so you just keep it here? You just got a whole little pharmacy here?" I said, "Yeah, actually I do." But I was breaking down the different forms of what you can get. You can get in powder form, pill form, uh, tincture form, and each form is a higher dosage depending on what you're trying to do. I said, for this one, I need to be healthy. I don't have time to be having a cold, getting sick, because I'm self-employed. So I have to show up to work every day. These were the steps that I was taking during COVID, where everybody else was getting COVID and I didn't get COVID. I didn't get sick. My immunity was building up because I was around people who may have came in contact with having COVID, had just got over COVID. Not only that, a lot of them had taken shots and stuff. I mean, and I'm just going to be honest with you, because if you guys know I'm a holistic practitioner, I've never had the COVID shot ever. Never. Not one, not two, not ever. So I know that you can be healthy and you can live and you can be flourished and you cannot die. How do I know that? Because I walk by faith, not by sight. How do I know that? Because I applied these things in my life, so I could, during that time when people were getting sick and dying, and you had to follow strict guidelines. Thankfully, my education and infection control, I knew that because I was part of my infection control operation at the facility that I worked in, because I was the one that was over that portion of making sure all the documentations and everything was signed off when it came to infection control and all that, and OSHA. So I knew how, when it came into my barbershop, where I also practice holistic in there as well, what it is, what we had to do to sanitize, what we had to do to keep everybody that was healthy in there. And I took the steps holistically. And I'm here today to tell you that I didn't have those issues in my shop with people getting sick, or myself, because I could, like I told you, I'm self-employed and I couldn't afford it. But I just wanted to come on here. I'm not going to overdo it tonight, but this was just an introduction, just a small introduction of what sacred healing is about, what I'm going to be bringing forth. So when you do come on here, come with your questions. I want questions. I want to know if there's something that you need to ask about your health, of your spiritual, your body, your fitness, whatever it is. I want your questions, because I'm here to give them to you, give you the answers. I'm also going to be dropping things that you can do when it comes to your nutrition. I'm also going to be dropping things which you can do when it comes to your physical fitness. I'm also going to be dropping some things you can do to grow spiritually. Remember, it's mind, body, and soul. Okay, so I'm going to be giving each week. I'm going to have something new for us, whether it's whether it has to be dealing with oils, essential oils. I'm going to bring a lot of my essential oils. Another thing too, I also have another business when it comes to essential oils, so I'll be sharing that with you as well. That's part of my sacred healing, because a lot of my products that I make have essential oils in it. if you guys did not know. So a lot of my skincare products and my hair care products have a lot of these essential oils. I'll be bringing those forth soon, so I'll be sharing with those with you as well. So and also even with my cooking oils, I will be explaining to you during just, hey, I infuse those when you cook so you can get your medicinal herbs through there. So there's different ways that I will share with you of how to apply this to your life, okay? And just share you my journey of different things. But I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I appreciate you guys support me. I appreciate everything that anyone has ever done for me. And I thank you. I thank you with the bottom of my heart. And I want you guys to come back next week. But tomorrow, don't forget to join us, okay? Because I'm also on the Empower Morning Show. I'm also one of the co-hosts of Empower Morning Show. So I am the health and wellness practitioner on there. So you guys can also find me on there as well. But don't forget to like, share, and tag somebody, okay? Let's be a blessing to somebody. Let's pass this knowledge on. Let's share. Let's help one another, okay? Thank you. It was nice having you guys on here tonight. Love y'all. Take care.